Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 30 and free Infinity Slayer multi-team game play. It's on Haven, so you know we're in for a good time. I managed to get an overkill in it at one point, so keep your eyes out for that one. I kind of just want to go over my thoughts on multi-team. Multi-team is a playlist I hold very dear to my heart. In the Halo 3 days, I would only play 2 playlists, which might sound a little bit odd to you. But I wasn't a very big Team Slayer man. I'd play Social Slayer here and there. I'd play Team Snipers here and there, but mainly it was just, if I wanted to play tryhard, I would play Lone Wolves. If I wanted to play for fun, I would play multi-team. Maybe Social Slayer here and there, but multi-team was kind of my go-to. And the reasons why, I thought, well, number one, I wasn't a very good player back in those days. I didn't follow competitive, I didn't follow MLG, I didn't follow YouTube, there weren't many commentators at the time whatsoever. So quite frankly, it was just a experience where I would get on, try and hop on with a few friends and rope them in for a few games. Quite frankly, Halo 3, Halo's a pretty tough game. And for the more casual players on my friends list, which I used to hang around with quite a lot, it was very hard to rope them in for more than 2 or 3 games, because it was quite a frustrating experience. You had to be pretty darn level-headed about it. It was very easy to get frustrated because there were a lot of good players on it. You could have a lot of hard games, but at that time I just didn't care. I loved the game enough to keep playing and playing and playing. But actually, on that note, I didn't want to play the ranked games because it was tough. It was freaking tough. If you didn't know players who knew their stuff, if you weren't keeping up on stuff, I didn't know call-outs at the time, I didn't know weapon spawning times, I would just play for fun, and as a result, it was a pretty tough learning curve to get ingratiated to in the time, especially if you didn't have YouTube to teach you these things on a regular basis. So multi-team was a go-to playlist, and all you needed was one friend, and you could go in there and you could stand a pretty good chance of getting good scores. And I want to kind of go into my reasons of why I believe that was. Halo 3, when you started off a game on a multi-team gameplay, it almost felt as if the map was tailored to the multi-team experience. And how I think they managed to pull that off is because of the symmetrical map design that went on in that game. You had maps like Epitaph, Narrows, Pit, and Guardian that all seem to work so well within the multi-team format. And I'll kind of go over an example of the Pit and how I think that worked so well. It felt like, because it was symmetrical and it was a square map, everything was opposite each other. It was kind of like polar opposites in terms of how the gameplay worked. A sniper opposite another sniper, a shotgun opposite another sniper, and power weapons in between those two symmetrical power positions. And as a result, if you started off in a multi-team game, if you got a spawn, there wasn't really such a thing as a bad spawn in multi-team. Chances are, if you were in one of these quadrants, you could try and get hold of either the shotgun, the sniper, you could try and push for rockets or sword. There was always a good opening gambit to each game, and that offered a very, very fun, competitive, reliable experience, and it's something that you could learn to come to grips with. Multi-team on this game, little bit different. If you spawn on Haven, there is a good chance that you're going to get a terrible spawn, and there's not really much you can do about it. And I suppose the argument I really want to pose to you guys is that necessarily a bad thing? Do you want that to be the case? Do you prefer the Halo 3 competitive experience, or do you prefer the fun, chaotic nature that is brought out of this multi-team? Because quite frankly, I find it hard to make the decision myself, because there's certain experiences I have on this version of multi-team that I know wouldn't be possible in Halo 3. There's always a laugh-out-loud moment that you can gather from each game that you're in. There's always like a story that you can tell, like, one person gets ninjured by another, and then another gets ninjured by another, just because of the crazy amount of players, and then it becomes some sort of Spartan centipede thing. And I think that's hilarious, and I think there's a certain over-the-top insane spawning that opens up the playing field to insane multi-kills, over-the-top power weapon horage. It's pretty fun, and the debate is, is it okay to open the field to a slightly more casual spawning experience in order to make the game more fun, frantic, and fast-paced, or do you want the reliability of a balanced playing field with linear spawns and just an overall fair experience. And I think it's an interesting debate, and I think a lot of players would argue on the side of Halo 3, and even me, I'm kind of inclined to go with that way of thinking, but I still could see how I could be swayed to the Halo 4. Anyway, I've been Modest Major, hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, peace out.